Hello, hello, hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Claudia Monacelli, and Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with my friend, colleague, dear friend, Amista Bennett. Say hello, Amista, to everyone.
Hello, everybody. We're so glad for you to stop by. We're going to have some fun today.
Yeah, we are going to have some fun today. I was looking at the calendar, Amista, and it's been 10 years. We have known each other for 10 years. She's a Reiki Master and a professional psychic tarot reader, and she's been reading for the public since 2012. And she has experience and a daily relationship with the tarot. She reads every day, and it emerges in deep insights that she offers both her in her readings and her classes. She teaches tarot, and one of her biggest passions is to help others understand that they can tap into their connection with the divine and use that information to move forward more productively and happily in their lives. And in the description of the video below, you'll find her website, and that will allow you to get in touch with her. So you can see this is a call-in video. You can call that number using WhatsApp. The line is open, and we'll work with you. We'll see if we could help you and give you as many answers and some guidance for what you're asking. Let's see. We shall see. And this is how it happened a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, Amista, when I was with Jason, who you know, and
Right.
we were waiting for the calls to come in, and I had given a wrong number, and so I hadn't responded right.
That.
Right? I haven't. So that was a mistake, but this is the right number, and we'll see. We'll see. So how have you been, Amista?
Oh, fantastic. I just got
What have you
back
been
from
doing
spending
lately? I
vacation in
know that you
Missouri.
work in different places. What's the place that you like to work in the most?
I like working from home the most, but I do like to work for heaven's sake, in the Denver area as well.
Uh-huh.
And I get out there about 2 times a month and meet people in person and face to face, which is, it's a little bit more interesting than working online, I think.
Yeah.
Just being able to really see people's reactions to what comes up and hear their tone of voice in person. It's
Yeah.
just a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely is a different experience. There are the lines are open. I'll keep saying that the lines are open. So it's a WhatsApp number. I use the app WhatsApp, and the number is the country code Italy is +39, then 334. I think you can see it written in red. 334-9984-715. We'll see. We'll see. So let me tell you a little bit about. Oh, I have an incoming call. Let's see.
Doesn't take long.
Hello. Just a moment. Just a moment. Hello.
Hello, Christelle?
Yeah, yeah. Can you give me your name, please?
Yes. Yeah, hi, I'm Artie. Hello, Christelle and Amista. Thank you so much for this session. I had a question I would like to ask, and that is, what can I do to study better or to find joy in me?
What can she do to study better and to find joy in her? This is Artie.
Okay. So this sounds like we've got a couple of questions actually going on at the same time. Let's
All
see
right.
what Spirit wants to show
Okay.
with
Artie,
as
can
far
you
as
hear her?
Not very clear.
Not very clearly. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. All right, go on, Amista.
Okay, so first of all, to study better, You want to make some time where you can be alone, where you can be undistracted without people around you that are in your space demanding of you all the time. So find some seclusion time to actually be able to study. And as
Okay,
far
so,
as finding,
all right,
go
so
ahead.
let me get to her. So if you, Archie, did you hear her? She's saying you need some me time, downtime, some place where you have, you'll be secluded and you have time to work on this. One.
Well, I wouldn't say so much me time. I think of me time as self-care. This is time set aside exclusively for study. And then the other thing about her
Okay, so
finding
time
happiness,
set aside for exclusively for study. Go on.
and then the other thing about finding happiness has to do with people around her. She has to be very careful about who she surrounds herself with
Okay, you
because
have
she
to be
has
careful with
people that are
who
working against that.
you have to be careful with who you surround yourself with. That is one of the most important ingredients in finding happiness. Go on. So, Amista, it's a little low, your voice. I have to relay it. Go on. Make short
Okay.
sentences. Anything else?
Okay. That's it. What do
Yeah.
you have to add?
I have to add that there was a time not that long ago, Artie, that you were indeed quite happy. Now, you need to tap into that moment, that time, the context. What was it like then, and why were you happy? If you can remember that, that will help you.
Okay, thank you so much, both. Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye bye.
Okay.
Okay. So we had other calls underneath. This is the way it's going to have to do. I mean, Amista, when you say a couple of sentences, I'll just relay it louder. And for some reason, I think my Bluetooth is not working well, but this is the voice here is quite loud. Anyway, I was telling you that we had a session a few weeks with Jason, and really, I really came away feeling that we were able to speak to a lot of people, and we had the opportunity of sort of bouncing off each other. Either I would start first, or he would start first, and so that was interesting, and the way the answers came out were also interesting as well. I know you had met him. When was that period that you were working together, or you had met in the fair?
I
Hold
had
on,
met.
hold that thought. We have another call. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Claudia.
Yeah, who's talking? Hello?
Look who's. Can you hear me?
Yeah, who's talking?
Avneet.
Oh, Avneet, we know each other, don't we? You know both of us.
Yeah, that's what Amista just told me that she was doing this, and I said, okay, this is new for me as well.
Avneet?
Talking to you guys together.
Avneet is a fellow reader, as a matter of fact, and she's come to both of us for guidance. And what can we help you with, Avneet? You're in the UK now?
I sure am.
Okay. What can we help you with? Hold on, go on.
Hi, I have no idea what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Go on. What can we do for you?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but there's some odd thing that's occurring. Okay.
Just died.
Okay, go on. Say it again, Avneet, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't have a question, but I'll tell you what. How about you guys see, I'm planning to do something which is going to change my career. And I'm planning to invest into something as soon as Monday for that. Is that a good idea? Should I be doing what I'm planning to do on Monday?
Okay.
First step into changing my career.
Amista, do you have a response for her?
It looks to me like it's a very good idea, actually.
Okay, so if you
And
can,
it's
and
something,
hear her, she's saying it looks to Amista that it's a very good idea. Yeah.
and it's something that you shouldn't plan on doing this forever and ever and ever. Amen. This is whatever you're investing in. This is something that you should plan on having a very
This is a
finite
one-off. It's not something you should plan to do on in the future. This is something that you will give you this added push. Is that right, Amista?
It's going to be something that she should just do for a while. So if
Just
it's
do
like
for a while.
meditation or something like that, then yes, but it's not something to do forever.
For the long haul. Okay. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, it's something that it is, but it's got to.
It's, sorry, say it again?
It's going to have a very positive effect for her.
Avni, what were you saying?
It's got a minimum commit of.
Right, minimum commitment.
Minimum commit of 12 months.
Oh, okay. And that looks, I'm contrary to what Amista said, I don't see it having the long term of 12 months. I see the beginning, yes, very well, very good, very positive, but I see that there's going to, that commitment is going to weigh heavy on you.
Okay.
Okay? Well, you have a good one. Ciao. Bye-bye, Avneet. Bye-bye. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I didn't expect to have a someone we both knew call in. That was interesting. And there's, it seems, let's see what's happening here. Hello?
Hello, I am Sonali from India. My question is, how can I use Reiki along with crystals to relieve my anxiety?
To relieve her anxiety. Hello, Sonali. Amista, you work with Reiki quite a bit. How can she use Reiki and crystals to relieve her anxiety?
Well, Reiki works if you set the intention to relieve the anxiety. You can use it straight up for that.
Yeah, Reiki, if you set the intention for that purpose, it relieves the anxiety, but you have to set the intention.
And good crystals to help with anxiety happen to be
good crystals for anxiety are amethyst,
blue lace agate, and red jasper.
And red jasper.
And so she would want to carry them with her near her body as often as
you should carry them near your body with you as well.
So what would you do?
Thank you. I have been a viewer of yours since a long time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonali. You have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. It's a little low, your voice. Here's another call. Ready?
Ready.
Hello?
Hello. Hi, Claudia.
Hi.
This is Sonam here.
Sonam?
Yeah.
Okay, hello. How are you?
I'm good. So this time it's not about my career because I'm going to follow your advice and take some action.
Okay, career.
No, my question today is about my sister's marriage, Claudia.
Your sister's married. Your sister's marriage. Can you tell me her first name?
Her name is Shatakshi.
Shatakshi. Yes. What is the question?
So we have been looking around for a match for her since quite many years.
Yes.
Nothing has materialized.
Okay.
And my parents are old and quite stressed about it. It's not that the proposals don't come; they do come, but nothing seems to work out.
Okay.
And there have been some suggestions from people, that there's a family member has done some sort of black magic or an evil thing that has jinxed it up. I'm not sure about that, but my question is,
okay, so let's take this question right off the bat about if she was in some way the object of black magic. Amista, I don't see that. No, I don't see that. Do we have a timeline for her? Does it look like something will be happening in the near future, or when could that be?
Let's take a peek. I actually want to look at best advice for her on how to
Okay,
move forward
she's
with
going to
this.
look at the best advice for your sister on this. Hold on.
Sure.
She wants to start looking at this in a much more logical way than emotional.
Okay, she has to start looking at this in a much more logical way than an emotional way. That's one. Best
The other
advice.
thing is that she is really fearful that things are not going to work out, and that fear is manifesting
Yes.
itself.
Okay, she's very fearful that things will not work out, and that fear is blocking her.
And then the last bit of advice that comes up is that she's very used to being independent and on her own. And sometimes she has to give the man room to do something like the man.
Okay, so she's used to being independent and on her own. But in this case, she has to give the man room to be a man and walk towards her for this marriage.
So he feels needed.
So he feels needed.
Because that's her big problem, is she's not letting anybody feel like she really needs
Yeah,
them.
that's the big problem, is she's not letting anyone feel like they are needed. I don't see a marriage in the next year nor in the next 18 months, but within towards the end of the second year, that's when I see the person arriving. Okay?
Okay.
Well,
will it be successful? I mean,
let's see. Will the marriage, when it comes, be a successful one? I see that it's going to be very...
that there's a lot of passion and that there's a lot of chemistry there, but there are going to be issues that need to be worked out, having to do with money and actual love after attraction.
All right, there's passion, there's love there, but there are issues that concern money and what happens after the initial flame is no longer burning. So they have to work at it. Yes. Okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. There's a lot of pressure when the marriages are combined. There is a Netflix TV series, Netflix series called Matchmaking in India. That is so true to life. It's really the way things are done, and it's so entertaining. For me, of course, that I'm not Indian, it's entertaining, and people see themselves in that, and all of the characters, all of the men and women who were part of the show were really, it was interesting to watch. Let's see.
I saw that, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's easy for it to be entertaining for us.
Oh, okay. Have you seen it? Have you seen it, Amista? I see. It is entertaining for us because
we could be entertained. I feel really sorry for the people that are actually in there being matched.
Yeah, it's probably not as interesting for people who are being matched as it is for outsiders, right?
Well, I'm sure it's interesting, but not entertaining. It's life and death when you're talking on a commitment like that.
Yeah, I know, it's difficult. It's difficult. You know, when I was watching it, I was sort of envious, and I myself was thinking, it's not that bad a system, I thought to myself. At a certain point, I could see why someone who has been dating for such a long time then decides to get serious. and turns to a matchmaker. I could see that. I mean, I could see myself going through that too. Well, maybe not at a younger age. I would have burned everybody's house down because I would have never wanted to go through that. I can see that. But in a culture that accepts that and welcomes that, I can see how that could be successful. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it that they used a lot of astrology in it.
Yeah, they did. They turned to astrologers, to people who read faces, to a man who read faces. Yeah, that was interesting. And saw they saw the pictures of the two couple, and they were spot on. The man was spot on. Oh, this woman has a ready marriage, and behind her, you know, as soon as he saw her face, which was true, right? Yep. We're still live, and we'll be accepting calls at the number, which is area code. The country code is +39 Italy, and the number is 334 in WhatsApp, 334-998-4715.
You know what we should do while we're waiting on a call?
What should we do while we're waiting for a call?
Advice for everybody who's watching.
Good advice for everybody who's watching. Good idea. Go slowly. Go slowly because I'm repeating your words, Amista.
So this will be best advice for manifesting whatever it is that they want.
Okay, best advice for manifesting whatever you want.
Whatever it is they want. So they should have in their mind what it is that
you have to have in your mind while you're listening to this now. Keep it in your mind, and we're going to give you the best advice for whatever you have in your mind at the time of listening.
Networking is going to be incredibly important.
Okay, so networking is going to be incredibly important.
And as they're networking, they want to be sure and show appreciation for the people who impact them positively in their lives.
And as you're networking, you have to show appreciation and gratitude for the people in your life.
Yes. That'll get them there.
That'll get you there. Good. Good.
That's good advice for any day.
It is really the best advice for any day. So, Amista's talking to us from Colorado. What is the weather like where you are, Amista?
The high is in the 60s Fahrenheit.
60s Fahrenheit, that would be...
a little bit more than jacket weather.
It's like a 20 degrees centigrade. Yeah, 20 degrees. Now, at this hour, in Italy, it's sort of, it's 8 p.m. just about, and it is that weather. That's the temperature. It was much warmer than that.
Why don't you tell us how you got into this? What got you into this type of work?
Who? You're asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. She's asking me what got me into this type of work. Well, I come from a family who were members of the occult. So when I was sort of dissatisfied with my academic job, when I say dissatisfied, it means that I was always screaming and arguing with everybody. So I thought I had to calm down, do something that I enjoy, and that's when I started doing readings publicly, not only with people in face to face. I went onto YouTube, and that's what it started. That's how it started. And so that's what brought me out. And then I came out of the closet, and I finally showed my face because I was very camera shy. And so that sort of warmed me up. And now the call-ins is something that I enjoy really a lot. Of course, in-person readings are the absolute best, and you know that because you work in different shops, and when you have a person's energy in front of you, it's so much better reading for them.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Oh, you don't agree with that? I was just going to correct myself. As a matter of fact, as soon as it came out, I said, "No, it's not. It doesn't matter the presence, but it's more enjoyable for me when the person is in front of me." What about you, Amista?
It's enjoyable, but the reading The reading is just as
The
high a
reading
quality,
is
and in
the
fact, I
same.
spent my first 8 years doing almost exclusively phone readings and
Okay,
online
so
readings.
you did your first 8 years almost exclusively phone readings, and you've worked for a lot of services as well. What got you into this work, Amista?
My significant other kicked the bucket I
Her
was
significant
thrown
other.
in.
And when was this? What year are we talking about?
October 29th of 2011.
2011. Okay, 2011. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And was it an
She
easy?
got thrown in on my head.
It was. I remember you telling me that once that you were one of the few readers in YouTube at the time, and then there
I was
was
one of the few that was doing weekly broken down by
a
astrological sign.
weekly
Everybody else was
readings.
trying to do for everybody.
Right. So you were doing weekly readings at a time when people were doing other kinds of readings, let's say monthlies.
Other people were doing weekly readings, but I was the first one that started doing them, but like weekly for Aries, for
Okay, so you
Taurus,
were the
for
first that was
Gemini.
doing it for different astrological signs on a weekly
Yes,
basis. That's a lot of work. That's a
it's a lot
lot
of
of work.
fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of work, a lot of work. Well, it looks like we have come to a standstill here. Let's wait a couple of minutes to see if other people call. And then we'll just have to give a best advice for something else as well. We could give a best advice for people who are interested in changing their jobs. Would this be a time on a general? Of course, it's a general reading. What would? Wait, I have a call. Remember that thought. Let's see.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. I hope you both are doing well.
Who's calling?
Hi there.
My name is Kajal.
Kajal. Hi. How are you? Mr. Hurt, and that's great. What can we do for you, Kajal?
Hi. Your sessions have really been very helpful for me in dealing with a difficult situation in life.
Oh, good.
And I would really like to know what message
I'm sorry.
what does she want to guide me with?
Okay, can you do that? Can you say that again because you blocked out? We didn't hear the audio.
Okay. I would like to know what messages does my mom has to me.
Your mom, who's passed, when did she pass?
She passed in April.
In April this year. Sorry, I'm so sorry that.
What was her
And
mom's
you would
first
like
name?
to. Sorry, Amista?
What was her mom's first name?
What was your mom's first name?
Anita.
Anita. Didn't you call and ask the same thing? Kajal, I remember.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, same thing you asked. Do you have any
Yes, ma'am.
messages for her, Amista?
Yes, actually, her mom wants her to pay attention to her studies.
Your mom wants you to pay attention to your studies.
Okay, ma'am. Does that mean that I should be studying further, or should I be starting my career right now?
Does that mean that she should be studying further or start her career now?
There is definitely an element of work that needs to be done, just
Yeah,
as
there's
a matter
definitely
of survival.
an amount of work that needs to be done for your mere survival. And then?
But also, don't quit with studying. There is more that she needs to learn to be able to do what she came here to do.
Right, there's more that you need to learn to do what you came here to do.
Okay, ma'am.
Her mom is saying, don't give up.
Sorry, Amista?
Her mom is saying, don't give up.
Your mom is saying don't give up. Go on, Arjun.
Yes, ma'am. I've always been inclined towards some science like astrology, tarot, and becoming. If that is the path for me, I would love to know that.
Okay. Does that seem to be the path for her? Studying tarot, spirituality, this type of work.
This is one of the first stepping stones on your path. There's
Yeah.
a lot more coming up.
This is one of the stepping stones on your path, but there's much more coming up.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have a nice evening, Kajal. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay. 2 weeks ago when I was with Jason, there were 2 calls, and the mother was, the question involved the mother, and if they had messages for them, and they were both named Anita. And that's why I remember when she said, because at first,
cool.
Kajal, I remember the name, and then when she said Anita, then I knew it was her. Yeah. And I guess, the conversations are all...
So tricky.
Sorry?
Grief is so tricky. You think that you can get enough information, and you never can, because it just doesn't feel the same as when they're still here. It's such an adjustment.
When you do have conversations, especially, at times there's sort of, like Amista, you say, it's always difficulty. You don't feel as if you get enough information. The conversation is always, it almost seems one-sided at times. And a lot of people are not used to going through a middleman, through an intermediary like us. And I always tell them, speak in the first person, and I will give you the answer in the first person, And it's so touching at the same time, though, because the messages that come across are so, unique in that there's some things that we could not know about their relationship, or I have a call, hold that thought. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi, who's calling?
Hi. Yeah, this is TJ calling from India.
TJ. Hello, TJ. What can we do for you?
I have a question regarding my son, who is 10 now.
Your son is 10? What's his first name?
Rian. R-I-A-A-N.
Rian. Okay, what did you want to ask about him?
I want to ask about him. Like, he's very fond of playing cricket.
Yes.
He also plays soccer.
Yeah.
He wants to be a professional cricketer.
Yeah.
So do you think it's apt for him, like as a profession? That's what I...
Did you hear that, Amista? If he's a professional if he's in line to be a professional cricket player.
Yes.
I don't see him being in line to be a professional cricket player.
She doesn't see him being in line to be a professional cricket player. I do see that he will be playing for a long time, but not at the professional level. This is what I'm getting. Yeah.
And I got that it's a good idea to encourage him to play that, because he can get a lot of good life skills from that. But I wouldn't expect him to make that his living.
Okay, so Amista says that it's very important to still encourage him to play that, because he's going to get a lot of life skills out of that.
Okay, great, good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you take care of yourself.
Can I ask one more question?
Of course.
Yeah, okay, that's regarding my wife.
Yes. What's her first name?
Sonam.
Sonam. Mm-hmm.
Yes. She's an IT professional.
Sonam?
And,
yeah.
Yes. She wants to, sort of. She's not very happy in her current job profile. She's been looking for a change for so long, but it's not happening somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she's much stressed about. That should she look for a better option, or the current company we will serve better.
Okay, so you're asking whether she should look for another job or stay where she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Amista, do you have, I'll tell you then what I have.
I don't know that it's necessarily time to look for another job right now.
Right.
It is time to
We don't
build
know
your
whether it's
business.
necessarily now the time to look for another job. Go ahead.
I think it's time for her to start building towards creating something of her own, though.
Yeah, but it's time that you heard that she should start building something of her own. Yeah. I like his response. Oh.
I was less enthusiastic. Yeah.
It sounds like you're not that enthusiastic.
Oh, that's not right, but yeah. But yeah, okay, that's good to hear that.
Okay. You take care.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Take care, bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye.
That came out right.
Funny like that.
Oh. That came out loud and clear.
You wanted her to get another job with more pay, forget starting something new and having a zillion and 1 hours to make it work.
Starting something new is a lot of insecurity probably in the minds, especially of the husband, of her husband. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
I think my favorite thing about a medium reading, like when we check for messages for people who have crossed over, especially in a longer one.
Yeah, hold on. So your favorite thing in a medium reading, you're saying a favorite thing in I'm sorry to interrupt you, but a lot of people can't hear the video, the audio. What is the favorite thing in a medium reading?
If you can get one that's, a little longer than these little snippets here,
Yeah.
then how the other person's personality comes through.
Oh, yes, in a mediumship reading, when you're channeling a soul that's passed, the longer you, instead of these small snippets like Amista says, when you have a 30-minute, 40-minute reading, channeling session, the personality of the soul really comes through. It's amazing. Yeah, it's one of the most, and the humor. I find that the humor comes out and just makes, sort of not makes light of, but brings the atmosphere to a place that it wasn't at the beginning of the session, which is interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, their mission is always to comfort the person in front of you. So
right. The mission is to comfort the person in front of you. Yeah, in front of them, who's talking to them. Yeah. Interesting. What was so you read in the public, in stores, in different places, and in fairs. Have you had one case? I mean, I like the story. I'm asking for a story. A story of a client who came to you, something that you didn't expect.
Oh, I had one of my very, very early clients, before I start setting rules about this stuff, wanted to know if she was going to pass away before her mom.
Oh my goodness, hold on. Let me put this, maybe if I put the microphone near you, I'm sorry, I just made that terrible. Can you say that again?
So one of my very early readings, before I had started making rules around things so much, I had a lady come to me and ask me if she was going to pass away before her mother.
Right. How did you deal with that?
I was really not wanting to answer that.
Right.
I didn't even want to look at cards for that, so I stalled my rear end off.
How?
I said, "Oh, are you sure you want to know that? That's a pretty big question to ask. Before I put the cards down, I just want to double check." I put the cards down, and before I read them, "Are you sure you want to know this?"
And what did she say?
And finally, yeah, she just kept pushing forward, and so finally I read it, and the answer came out no, and I was really disconcerted by it.
You mean the answer came out no, that she wasn't going to survive her mother?
She wasn't going to outlive her mother, was how the lady had worded the question.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Like, oh, this is terrible.
I know.
And
right?
she took it so well. She was very calm about it.
She was
And she
great.
said that's actually what I was expecting. I just needed
So she knew.
confirmation.
She knew. This opens up another topic, how people who come to you for readings, I always have, I have to say 100% of the time I have the inkling, the notion, I know that they know the answer already.
Yeah.
And they're just
A
asking
lot of times
for
they do, but they think that they're
confirmation.
crazy.
Yeah. People don't trust their intuition at times. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for her, she had worded the question in a little bit of a tricky way.
Yeah.
What she hadn't told me was that her mother had passed away already, but she died very young. And this lady had the same disease that she had died from, and she thought she was going to die like 2 years earlier than her mother had.
So it was a tricky. So after she found out, did she explain that to you that her mother had already?
Because I was freaking.
Oh, now that was a
She was
tricky.
probably
That was
within
a
the
tricky
first 20
question.
readings.
I could just see you. I could see you sitting there. Are you sure? Are you sure?
She was in the first 20 readings. I was still putting ads out on Craigslist at that time, and she came to my apartment, and I did a reading for her right there in my apartment. We didn't do it on the phone, and
It was
yeah, so
difficult.
she
That's
was really
difficult.
early.
Wow. Well, Amista, I'm so glad that you took the time to talk to us and to read with us. We will do this again. We will. Promise me you'll come back and we'll do this again together.
I love it. I have lots of fun with it. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me, and of course I'll come back.
All right. So everybody heard that. She will be back soon. In the
We
meantime,
need witnesses.
there are other people friends also of Amista's who will be coming up. Next week we have Dawn Barker, a woman who will be
Oh, she's fantastic.
alongside, and Amista, you know her well. Yeah, so that will be fun as well. It'll be next week, actually. I'm going to put up the announcement now. Thanks again, Amista. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, my
Bye,
dear.
everybody.
Bye.
We'll be back.